Verification letters are an important tool used to verify income and expenses of household members when processing a certification. Verification letters enable you to set up a profile of verification letters for an applicant or tenant household and print those letters for all household members. To access this option, we'll go to Applicant and select Applicant Tenant File and pull up the desired participant we're working with. And then once we're in their applicant tenant file, we're going to go down to verification letters here. Here we can see the list of the letters I've already set up. There's an option to add notes, add new letters, edit existing letters, and delete letters we no longer need. By selecting output options, you'll get to a screen where you have your list of letters displayed, and you can choose which letters you do or don't want to print. To start out, we're going to add a new verification letter. And as you can see here, when we select the letter we want to print, each one of them has a category listed next to the type of letter. Income, assets, miscellaneous, welfare, medical expenses, each one of these has a mail to type. And when you add vendors who you're sending letters to, you can create new types to send to. I'm just going to go ahead and select medical. Here, under household members, we can choose which household member this applies to. And we're going to go ahead and select Jack. Here we can choose the drop-down, and it'll give you any vendors listed for that particular mail-to type, this one being medical. You can go to Find to do a more advanced search or to add, edit, or delete new mail-to records. I'm just going to go ahead and select Gunderson Lutheran. Here are the date sent and date received fields. When you first create a record, these are going to be read-only. And every time you run letters, the date sent is going to be updated with the date you last ran that letter. And then you can come back in and edit that record when you get a response and just put in a date received. To print letters, we're going to go to Output Options, and we're going to select the letters that we want to print. We can choose whether or not we want to do labels and envelopes, and we can choose whether or not we want only the last 4 digits of the Social Security number or the entire Social Security number printed. And then you can enter in a respond by date here. That would be your deadline for when you need a reply. And then we can choose to directly print our letters. I'm going to preview them so you can see them. And here's our letter with our mail to information. Here's our one for Gunderson Lutheran and our other one for Gunderson Lutheran. When you need to add a new mail to record from the verification letter screen, if you select the letter that you're trying to run and your household member, at this point you can choose to create a new mail to record. We're going to go ahead and hit Find to get to the mail to file. And this can also be accessed from under Tools. Right here, there's the mail to file. We can choose to show all categories to see all the different types of mail to records we have available. I'm going to go ahead and make one for bank verifications. I'm just going to select Add here. We choose our category. You can choose to create different categories by hitting Edit List here. And there you can select specific ones. Most of these are in here by default, but you can always add new ones by selecting Add here. If you were to mark one of these as inactive, it would no longer show up in the lists to run. So that's a good way to get rid of one that's no longer in use. Probably better to make it inactive rather than outright delete it. so that you're not getting rid of any history. And we'll just name this one West Salem Credit Union. We can choose to put an attention line if all these need to go to a specific employee there. And we're just going to do 120 2nd Street, West Salem. I like to just type it in right in the zip code here. And then it allows me to select the city and state. Phone, fax, and email, those are optional fields, but if you enter those in, those can be printed out on the letters. And there's our record. We could choose to edit it if we ever wanted to come back to it, or just outright delete it. I'm just going to select it. And since this was a bank type, I should probably tie it to a bank letter. If you wanted to create new verification letters, you can go under Tools and Letter Setup, and then select the letter function verification letters. Here you can choose to clone or copy existing letters to create your own brand new verification letters, or if you want to tie a specific verification letter to one of those functions, select Edit Setup, and you can choose whether it's bank, child, employee, or whatever verification letter type that you create. I'm just going to go ahead and hit cancel to not make any changes. For more advanced training on letter setup, please see our letter setup video or check the user's guide.